On the line now with Chad Corcoran, who's got some huge things going on in 2016. Chad, of course, the former mini stock regular out of Flamboro Speedway, second-generation racer. Now, Chad, I understand you'll be making the big jump up, my man, from mini stock to pro late model. Tell me a little bit about how this whole deal came together for you for the 2016 season.
Yeah, like it was the car that I'm hopping in for next year is my dad's old late model. So, I've been trying to bug him for the last couple of years and just trying to let me into this ride. And that, I guess it finally worked out last race, Frost Fest there at Flamboro. So, yeah, he let me take it out, and we kind of negotiated something, see if, something for 2016, already a little bit in the works. And then I guess I impressed him a little bit at Frost Fest there, and, we negotiated a deal, and yeah, that's the plans for 2016 as of right now, yeah.
What was it like to cut your teeth at Frosttoberfest in the Grisdale Triple Crown race? Because, it drew some big flies. It was just a notch below the kind of field we saw in the APC races last year. There was a lot of talent there for that to be your first race.
Yeah, for sure. There was a lot of big hitters there, and I'm glad I did go out in that race because I was kind of stressing my dad. I was like, hey, I see the lineup already going into this race. I want to throw some new tires. I want to get a little bit faster. Like, what are you going to do? He's like, no, you're going out old tires, and I want to see what you can do when it gets later on the race, and you're just going to get better for next year. So it's kind of like a building race leading into 2016. But, it was, phenomenal drivers that were out there, and I think that's only just going to build myself for upcoming years.
Now, did it just blow your mind the first time out there, the first few laps in a pro late model racing with other cars? Because I know you had practice sessions under your belt, but to get out there in race trim, when you compare everything that you had learned from your mini stock and try to relate it over to a pro late model, was it like just being on another planet?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It was actually going into that race, I had one practice session the Tuesday before and then cut out a little bit early there just due to rain. So yeah, when the second time in that late model, it was first practice of that event, and I think that made it a little bit more intimidating. But yeah, compared to the mini stock, mini stocks are getting up to speed a little bit too. Nothing compared to a late model, like totally different coming out of the corners, the whole feeling. But I guess stepping up from a mini stock, I wasn't way out of contention, but it's still a huge stepping stone. Like even from a mini stock to a Thunder car, I learned it was, pretty big horsepower, feel everything, and then from a Thunder car late model, just that much more, and it was, it was a crazy experience.
So was your dad? Was Brad playing crew chief for you at Frosttoberfest? Was that sort of the role that he was playing for you? Yeah.
That was his first time actually spotting, and he needs some work on that for next year. But
because your dad's such a quiet guy, he's such a relaxed, sort of really, really mild-mannered, quiet guy. I can't imagine he'd be overly vocal on the radio.
Yeah, that was exactly the thing. I think he said maybe 5 or 6 words the whole race, but I guess he was there when I really needed him. But that whole event there, he was. I'd come in and tell him what I saw, and we kind of share a little bit because he had the car out the week before and he actually won with it. So then we were just sharing notes, kind of trying to make this thing as fast as possible and for my liking. And he helped me out huge for Frosttoberfest there.
What was some of the best advice he gave you on the day of? Because he's trying to cram decades worth of his experience into you, his son who's going out there for the first time. So what was the best piece of advice he gave you prior to Frosttoberfest?
Just smooth. That's like a big thing in racing. He was always saying be smooth. And then I think I picked up that, like, trying to be as smooth as I could. And then he wanted, the biggest thing, he was trying to get me to push the car a little bit more and to find my fine line in the race car.
Right.
Which of being fast and kind of being under control a little bit, like loose. So we were just trying to find that perfect line, and I think that was his best advice on the radio.
So you'll be racing full time at Flamboro next year, and all of a sudden, the APC series I think has really benefited Flamboro in terms of bringing this pro late model division back, because they've gone from having 5 or 6 cars on a weekly basis to having 15, 16 cars on a weekly basis. All of a sudden, this is a really, really good field. You're only going to add to it. I mean, that has to make you incredibly excited to go out there and run for Rookie of the Year honors.
Yeah, big time. I think the APC series really grew pro late models in general. I guess at Delaware and Flamboro especially. So yeah, there's a lot of rookies, I guess, last year, and there's a lot of veterans, and I think everyone's just going to get stronger for next year. So yeah, I think Flamboro full season is going to be a very exciting year.
Now, Flamboro, a lot of guys always tell me how difficult it is to get around Flamboro and how hard it is to win there. But then you talk to some guys like Sean Chenoweth or a Jason Shaw or a Paul House, and they'll tell you how much they love running at Flamboro. They really enjoy the speedway. They enjoy the facility. I mean, obviously, if you're setting yourself up to run there full time, it has to hold a place in your heart. What is it about Flamboro that you enjoy, that you like about the facility, that you want to go there and race full time?
Just, it's close to home. It's I have a lot of fun on that track. It's where I raced mostly out of the last couple of years, and yeah, I know that track pretty well. And the car that I have for the Pro Late model, it fits right into their rules, and yeah, we're gonna have some fun there for sure.
Now, how much pressure are you putting on yourself heading into the season? I mean, what are you hoping to accomplish?
For next season, I'm looking for Rookie of the Year. We're trying to break into the top 5 in points, which I think, if we're there every night and we're very consistent, I think that'll be a goal that we can achieve. And we're just trying to, work as hard as we can over the off season. We got the car down to pretty much nothing now. Just doing some changes to stuff that was really overdue. And so we're trying to get the car as fast as possible and show some speed for next year.
Now, I did notice that you've kept the mini stock, though. You chose not to sell the mini stock, so
yeah, we still sell the mini stock.
What's the story there? I mean, was there just a lot that you hadn't accomplished yet in the mini stock division that you wanted to make sure you kept that car so you can knock some things off your bucket list?
Yeah, personally, I put a lot of money in that mini stock, and mini stocks, they're kind of going for big money now, but I don't know. I'm just going to keep it because I know there was a lot of big races that I wish I could do better in, so we'll see. Once I'm in the Pro Late, I'm not sure if I want to go back in the mini stock, but I'm sure I'll have a lot of fun and, maybe bring out the autumn colors there, push for a top 3 or top 5 finish. And, there's a couple other big races that I really want to get on the podium with.
Now, would autumn colors be the number one? I mean, is that the number one event that you want to go back and take another crack at? Because I remember autumn colors was the first event that made people really sort of sit up and take notice of you. 2 years ago, when no one really knew who you were, you showed up to autumn colors and you spent a lot of time running at the front of the field, and that was sort of your way of introducing yourself to the rest of the province. So knowing that you know how to get around Peterborough Speedway, is that the number one event that you want to go back and take another crack at in your mini stock?
Yeah, for sure. I think I started autumn colors, I think it was 3 years ago. It was my first ever mini stock race.
That's right. Right.
My uncle in the car, and he was like, "All right, did you want to drive it?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then it was the first time in the mini stock, so we ended up making the feature. But then, every year we've progressed so much, and I think 2 years ago was an 8th place finish, and the year before that we were running out front, just got caught in some trouble, and same thing with last year. So it was, that's one big race I really want to, add to my my list.
It's just so difficult to win, though. It's such a hard place to, if you're not running there full time, it's a difficult place to get a hold of. It's hard to pass. Qualifying at the Classic really does mean everything, because a bad starting spot can tank your afternoon before it even starts.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. I know Peterborough guys are regulars there. They really are very fast competitors in the autumn colors because they know the track and they know everything. And like you were saying, the qualifying, if you're starting up front, you tend to see the guys that are starting up front are in the top 3 at the end of the night. Just big things qualifying there, I guess.
Now, jumping into a Pro Late model, racing full-time at Flamboro, that's all great, but I know you're going to be asked this question, so I might as well get it out of the way. are we going to see you in APC competition? Because I feel like anybody that owns a pro late model, they're going to get asked that question. So let's address that one right now. Will we see you at the APC United Late Model Series in 2016?
Yeah, we've been working. We got a couple sponsors together, and we're thinking of we're doing the 2 Flamboro APC races. And I'd really like to get the pro late out at Sunset, so I think we're going to do the 2 there. I think we're going to do the full tour, just those 4 races. But yeah, we'll see if we can pick up some more sponsorship and everything. I'd love to do the whole APC tour. That's pretty much the top talent all over the province. And I'd learn so much and everything racing against those guys and that caliber of drivers. And yeah, that'd be something I really look forward to 2016.
That's murderer's row, my friend. When you look at the roster of the APC tour, I mean that is the best of the best. Those are the dudes that are the hardest to beat. It was crazy in 2015, and I think that it's only going to get more intense. It's only going to get more difficult to win one of those races in 2016. So if you're coming out and just say you do 4 races this year, could that be a bit of a shakedown session for you to get ready to do a full tour in 2017? Have you thought that far ahead yet?
Not really. We're just trying to focus on the rookie year and try to get all our stuff together for this year. And but I'm sure, if I can show some speed there, and I think my dad and I will work something out for 2017.
Now you mentioned that your dad played crew chief and spotter your first time out at Flamboro for Frosttoberfest. Is he going to be at Flamboro with you every Saturday and on the road with you on the APC tour? I mean, is he going to be a part of your program full time this year? He'll be there as much as he can, really. I know he's still got the pro or super late model there. And the Sunset Series really surprised him a little bit, so he's still in the works there. But I'm not too sure if it really conflicts any of the nights that I'm going to be racing. But I really hope so. And I think he's just as pumped up as I am. So he's hoping to do the Sunset Speedway Super Late Model Series.
He went to the rules meeting. He's on the edge right now. So, we'll see.
I think a lot of people almost forgot that your dad had the Super Late Model, rather, because I haven't been in a couple of years. And when word sort of came out that he had sold the Pro Late Model to you, I think people may have prematurely assumed that your dad had retired. So it's good to hear that he's not ready to hang it up quite yet. Yeah, we'll see. Like I said, he's kind of on the edge, but I know he's got a very fast Super Late Model there, and I really hope he brings it out. And every time he's had that car out, it's been a ton of fun, and I hope we can bring it out again. Now, I seem to remember a Friday night 2 years ago, you took the Nissan out to Oswegan. Now, I think, as far as I know, you only did it one time, but you had fun. We talked. You had a blast. So, is there a chance that now you're not running the mini stock on asphalt full time? Maybe you knock the Lexan out of it and turn it into a dirt car? Is there a chance we might see that? Throw the screen in it. I love dirt, and when I raced it that one time, I just kind of it was totally different, and it's a totally different game. But nothing yet, really. But I don't know. Who knows? There's always a chance. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So where's the Pro Late Model at right now in terms of being race ready? How much work do you guys still have to do? Well, we're not doing much big changes. We've been doing more like we're trying to lower the floor and make more safety, put door plates and mounting my new seat and everything like that. But we got it down to a bare chassis right now, and we're going to send it out to painting, and then when we get it back, we'll assemble it back to a race car. Now, I think it's important that we clarify that you've had to work and pay for all of your racing from the moment you got into this game. I think a lot of people might sort of just assume that it was handed to you, or your dad paid for it, or someone else paid for it. I think I need to make it clear. So you've funded your own mini stock deal right from the word go. Tell me a little bit about how difficult that's been to do while you were going through high school just for the part-time job, paying to get this deal off the ground. I think that's what it was it kind of helps me out now because I was still in high school. I was trying to, at one point, I was working 2 jobs there I was
very passionate about getting this mini stock going like crazy. So it helped me out big time now that, I'm done school. I'm got a full-time job. And, it just makes it a little bit easier finance for racing this late model. It's also another big step wide because I can put a little bit more money into this car. I obviously had a little bit of help there with setup and talking to my dad and Junior a little bit and getting to my mini stock where it was. But, financially, it was a little bit rough.
I mean, your first full year of mini stock, just my own curiosity, I'm sure there's probably a lot of other kids out there that wonder how much does it cost to get a mini stock team off the ground to run a full-time season on a weekly level?
On a weekly, I don't know. My mini stock went through about maybe 3 or 4 sets of tires, which are like $600 a piece, or for a set, sorry. Just like fuel, trout, like everything. It's definitely a lot of money, probably close to $5,000 for the whole year, maybe.
$5,000 for a high school kid with a part-time job is that's impressive, man. It's incredibly impressive that you were able to put that together. So I'm assuming some marketing partners have come on board to make it a little bit easier for the Pro Late model?
Yeah, for sure. We have Gallinger, Ford, and Lincoln and Milton there. They're my primary sponsor for next year. We got Freedom Village Canada. They're back on board. They're with us 2 years ago. And Queensway Truck and Trailer. They're in the Etobicoke there.
Now, that's Dave Gallinger that used to race Hurricane Midget. Is that the same?
Dave Gallinger. Yeah.
And you just met him through racing, or how did that come about?
Actually, when I was still in high school and just getting out of high school, I was working at the dealership there. So it was kind of weird. I applied, and a couple of weeks later, I knew he raced, and I was like, all right, this is kind of weird. So we just got talking, and we just connected that way, and I'm glad we did. We're building a pretty good season for next year for both of us, and it was pretty cool.
Because he's getting ready to do some mini stock racing, is he not?
Yeah, I think he's got picked up a car.
So is there a chance you might be able to he helps you with some sponsorship, and you might be able to help him with some setup information and get him going on the right track with his mini stock?
Yeah, I've actually been trying already. He's had the car out a couple of times testing it, so when he's at the track, give me a call like, hey, what do you think? And try to help him out as best as I could. But yeah, for sure, I'm trying to make it a little bit easier on him adjusting to the mini stock. But
So is there a chance with the Pro Late model we'll see you again at Frosttoberfest? Because I believe they're playing in the same Grisdale Triple Crown Frosttoberfest combo event at the end of the season. Should be a pretty big invitational. Is that one that we'll see you at?
Oh yeah, for sure. That's I guess one of my favorite races for sure. I always watched my dad when he was when they did the Grisdale Triple Crown, the 3 races. For sure I'll be there.
Well, I think it's fantastic. I think it's awesome that your dad and you were able to work this deal out and put this together, because I think the Pro Late Model division, as healthy as it is right now, is always going to need young talent, and that might be somewhere where we were lacking a little bit a few years ago. But it's a good time to be a young Pro Late Model racer these days. There's a lot of young talent on the APC tour. It's awesome to hear that you're breaking into the Flamboro ranks on a full-time basis. How old are you now?
18.
18. That is phenomenal, my friend. Well, best of luck with the off-season prep. Look forward to seeing you at Flamboro this year, and it'll definitely be a treat if we're able to see you in the APC field when the tour runs in the sunset.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Thank you very much for the time.
All right. Thanks a lot, Spencer.
That's Chad Corcoran getting ready for a full-time Pro Late Model campaign in 2016.